New product for 2023, the SCAG Airstorm Aerator. We're going to talk about it today and tell you everything we know about it. Hey guys, Zach here from Kubota of Lynchburg, and today we wanted to go over the new SCAG Airstorm that came out just this year, 2023. And with me, I've got Jim McInnes from SCAG himself, and we're going to kind of go over this product in detail today. As always, you know me, I like to start at the front of a piece of equipment. So basically what this is, I'll go over a little bit about what it is first, and then we'll start at the front. So this is a 30-inch wide aerator. So this is pulling plugs, pulling those cores. It's for, aerating your lawn, getting that air in the soil, going to make your grass look a million times better than it normally does. This is mainly going to be for those landscapers, those contractors out there. Now, as an individual, if you have enough yard, sure, this is going to be good for you. I think you're saying it's about like $13,499 or something like that is the retail price right now.
Yeah, so promo price is going to be $13,500. Keep in mind, most of your landscapers are going to be interested in this unit here. With SCAG products, you can get into a fleet program and save a couple thousand off of that as well. So it'd be good to definitely look to mix and match some purchases. Yep. Absolutely, to bring it down some.
With the new product coming out, they're putting real good prices behind it. So as a dealership, I get to see all sorts of the back end of pricing, but they're really coming out with a good price point to show this model off and show what it can do. So the first thing that we're probably going to get in the comments is, it's not hydro driven, it's chain drive. Well, it's a mix. It does have hydrostatic transmissions. It's actually got a hydraulic, extra hydraulic pump and motor system that drives your tines down into the ground. But we do have chains, and we're going to talk about a little bit more about those here in a second. But the way that SCAG has designed this, the way that Metalcraft has designed this piece of equipment, is that it still runs and works with very good quality. Try to be minimal maintenance and make that maintenance as easy as possible, even with having chains on the machine. So I'll probably get Jim to talk a little bit more about that in a second. But some of the little features about this that stand out to me is you have, a couple little things. You have flat free front tires. As a landscaper, as a contractor, there's nothing more frustrating. They're about to go do a yard and you have a flat tire. So the fact that they just put those, it costs a little bit more expensive right off the bat from the factory, but the fact that we have those flat free front tires, we actually have the same yoke and spindle and everything like that as, if you had a Cheetah or a Tiger Cat or Tur Tiger. So, we have interchangeable parts between them, which is always important. It's made with U.S. steel, military grade U.S. steel. And something Jim was telling me about as well is all our tines on this aerator are actually made by Metalcraft. They don't sub them out. They don't buy them from a Chinese company or anything like that. They make them in-house. So they're higher quality tines as well. They're going to last longer. You're not going to have to replace them as much. That's the idea behind it, quality. Of course, we got a 23.5 horsepower Kohler engine on here. It is mounted sideways for a reason, because they are working and designing a drop seat or a seater on the front. So as you're aerating, you can also seat, because that is highly important. It'll save you a ton of time and effort. That is in the works. That will be coming out shortly. We've got, our hydrostatic transmission from, I think it's Hydro Gear. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Good.
Hydro Gear pumping Parker wheel motor design,
motors,
just like our V-Rides and our Tiger Cats.
Pretty standard. Easy access, 5.5 gallon fuel tank, which will last a long time because you're not using a ton of power pushing this around. Then, of course, as kind of like the V-Rides, are a nice comfy seat. I always like these seats that kind of cradle you in, makes it a little bit easier on hillsides and slopes. So now we'll get down to the little bit more important pieces. So we'll start with the actual tines itself. So if we look, I'm going to pop this out the way. Hold on, loosen it up. So if we look down here in the, what kind of chamber do you call it? A tine chamber?
Yeah, so here we've got the tine chamber. And if you guys look closely, you'll notice there's no chains. Okay, so all of the chains that we use to power these tines are outboard. They are not inside the tine chamber. So that is one of the unique features we have. In addition, our tines are broken into 4 sections, 2 center freewheeling and then 2 outer drive tines. So these 2 center sections freewheeling is going to allow us to have a tighter turning radius than the competitors with the tines in the ground. So the competition will have their tines broken into 3 sections versus 4 sections. So we do have a larger freewheeling tine section. So again, you'll be able to make a tighter turning radius without tearing up the turf.
Something else I want to mention about that, because I noticed it the first thing I saw when I looked down in there, it has grease fittings all over. For me, grease fittings are important for the commercial side. If you're residential, sealed bearings are great. But greasing is going to really keep your equipment going longer, going better. So keep it well greased. You have multiple grease footings under there, but again, the better it's greased, the longer it's going to last. I don't want to see this in the shop for you know, sealed bearings going out, and I won't see that as long as we keep it well greased. Now, I ran the plugger for all of 1.5 feet, so but it pulls nice little plugs on my nice yard, so I'm doing pretty good. As far as the size of the plugs that it pulls, it's very easy adjustment on the side here. Basically, we've got right here adjustment all the way up to 4 inches. It's a simple pull and adjust. And then what that's going to do is, you'll see in a second, when we, let's say we do it at 2 inches, it's going to go back and hit the safety switch. And the way that this system works to raise and lower it into the ground is very... Honestly, I don't know the competition that much. I don't know if it's the same system, but I think it's cool. You have a little foot pedal switch here. And when you depress that, it's going to go into the ground. So if you want to come on and actually zoom in here, I'm going to show you guys how this works real quick. Hopefully it's not too loud in the mic. So right now, if I hit this pedal, nothing's going to happen. You have to hit an activate switch, and then I can hit this pedal, and you'll see it'll start to actually move and dig in. You can see the actual platform raise up a little bit as it's pushing those tines into the ground. Now, what if I don't want to hold it down? You know, I'm riding along property. All right, I can hit this button here, puts off. It'll go all the way down, and then if I want to stop to go make my turn, then I can hit my foot switch and let off, and it's going to keep coming back down. So as you're doing your turns and everything, you can release off of it, you can make the turn, and then you can go again. So I have the parking brake on and the seat's leaning. I'm not going to be moving it. But it's a very easy system, so you can choose whether you want to use the foot pedal a lot or if you want to use it just for the ends of the rows and turn with it. So they've made it very intuitive. Once you get on it and use it once, it's going to be very easy. And the last thing we want to talk about is one of the most important things, of course, is the drive on it, the chain drive on it. So if you look up in here, you'll see the double chains, and it is on both sides, run by your wheel motors. And you can see it's very well protected in here. So the amount of dirt, grass, debris that's going to get in there is very minimal because everything else is on the inside of the actual platform, whereas this external. So it's easy to service, easy to grease and lubricate. You got your your tensioner and pulley and everything right here. So it's easy to adjust that as you need to. And that's one of the biggest concerns people have on that I'm reading online is about those chains. I don't know how much you've run one of these, if it's easy to service, or if there's any known issues so far on these.
No, so I mean, it is a new product. No known issues yet. I say yet because you never know.
Something might pop up. Yep.
But I mean, a lot of the dealers that I have that have quite a bit of landscapers that do annual aeration, they are very pleased with the simplicity, the openness, the ease to access everything.
Oh yeah, it changed like one of those tines is super easy. You reach in there with the 2 adjustable wrenches and you got it in 10 seconds. So that's easy. They keep the tires a little narrow for a reason. You can fit this in a 50-inch gate. It is rated at 49.8 inches. So technically you could squeeze it in one of those tighter gates to fit in those backyards. So again, for those landscapers, contractors fitting in those, or even on a trailer, something smaller, it's nice to have not too wide of a machine, too bulky of a machine.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up, Zach. That does remind me, if you're not familiar with running a ride-on, stand-on aerator, one of the key things to remember is you always want to back onto the trailer and back onto the curbs. Okay, so if you drive straight on, you have a very good chance of catching one of the tines in the trailer or in the curb. Because it is, a total of 4 chains, as you're driving, the tines are spinning as well. So even with the tines up, as long as you're moving forward or backward, those tines will be spinning at all times. So very important thing to know.
Yeah. Well, basically what we have here is a cool new product from SCAG. Realistically, it's going to be one of those fun things to see how it does. There's the Stingers out there, there's other brands out there, but SCAG has always produced, which is one of the reasons I sell them, one of the highest quality pieces of equipment, made with U.S. steel, made in the U.S. Jim and I toured their factory earlier this year and everything like that, a couple of the factories. Real high quality, care about their employees and everything. So we're excited to see how this one does in the market. So if you're looking for a new, actually pretty affordable stand-on aerator, give the SCAG a shot. I think you'll be impressed on how it does.